All right. Trump is terrible, verbally, at race relations. He may be trying to do things to try to help, like with the First Step Act. He's trying to do prison reform. But when it comes to the things that come out of his mouth, he's terrible at race relations. That doesn't mean he's racist. I'm not saying he's not racist, but I'm not going to make a definitive statement that he is. He certainly is privileged. He's just about the most privileged person on the planet. But that doesn't mean he's racist. But nothing that comes out of his mouth is really very helpful to race relations. Obama tried really hard to say a number of things to help race relations. Now, some people feel that Obama made race relations worse because he somehow promoted identity politics on behalf of black people. I don't know whether that's really true. One could say that, and that's fine, you can think that, but Trump doesn't say anything to help race relations. And so this translates, because the thing is, if you don't say anything to try to help that, and you're not going out of your way to say negative things about racists and white supremacists. Yes, he says some things on the side, like with the Charlottesville situation. On the side, he said, we shouldn't condone the things that white supremacists are doing. Yes, it's bad. Violence is bad. But unless he's actually going out of his way to try to say something to help race relations, people are going to assume that Trump's presidency is making race relations worse. One has to say things to try to help race relations, or they will get worse. This is something we continually have to work on, and Trump hasn't. Him saying, we all need to come together, one nation under God, any of that kind of stuff, that doesn't help race relations. The most privileged person on the planet saying we all need to come together, that doesn't help race relations. The Pew Research Center did a number of polls recently. I'll show some of them on the side here, showing how much black people feel the country is kind of against them. This is how they feel. This may not be the truth of things. Some of the polls are saying that black people feel that they don't have equal rights to white people, which confuses me a little bit, because where are the actual rights that white people have that black people don't? Kind of reminds me of feminists saying, women don't have the same rights as men, and it's just like, okay, name something. But this is how they feel. It's an opinion poll. What can we do to change that? We can't use racism to correct racism. We can't do the whole quota system in order to try to correct this, because what that results in is black people getting treated like the only reason why they're in this position, in some high position, or the only reason they got this job or whatever, it's because of affirmative action. We don't need to be doing that kind of thing. That makes race relations worse. Does it help things statistically? Sure. But when it comes to the way that race relations go, I don't think that helps very much. I don't know the answers. But I do know it would certainly help if Trump had some PR person letting him know, hey, you should probably work on race relations a little more. Why don't you put some race relations stuff in your speeches? Something. Just anything. Even if he flubs on it. At least it would show he's trying. But that's not going to happen. He's said more things that are pro-gay than he's said that are pro-black. Now, maybe the things that he has said that are pro-gay have to do more with him wanting to demonize Middle Eastern countries, but nevertheless, he's still said more things that are pro-gay than he has things that are pro-black. Again, this is outside of the things that he's done in legislation. I'm just talking about the things that come out of his mouth. Besides the verbal diarrhea and the lies and the nationalism that looks at countries that are not the United States poorly. I don't know. It would just be nice if he just put a little bit of effort into this. But now some people will say, well, the fact that he doesn't put effort into it shows that he's just dog whistling the white nationalists. Well, if that's what he's doing, I don't know if he's doing it consciously. When it comes to social things, the guy is an idiot. I mean, he knows how to speak off the cuff. He can do a speech. I used to think that he wouldn't be able to do a speech. I thought he'd have to have teleprompters and maybe not even be able to read those very well. But he's proven that he can speak for 2 hours, as long as it's to the right kind of audience. He only knows how to speak to one kind of audience. Obama knew how to speak to just about everyone. Obama knew how to orate in a way that lifted people up. Now, some people will say, well, Trump can do that. Yeah, but only if you're of his political affiliation. Now, maybe you could say that the things that Obama said were more superficial and everything was always so politically correct. And that may be true. But he was still able to talk in front of an audience and say things and connect with a larger group of people. I shouldn't say a larger group of people. I should say more demographics. He could speak to a larger percentage of the country. Now, on the flip side of the coin, Trump has encouraged people to drop being politically correct. This can be viewed as a good thing. This can be viewed as a bad thing. It is what it is. I think a lot of people have become far too politically correct. So I do think there are some good things socially about his presidency. Unfortunately, it also opens up old wounds. Things that we thought that we were past, that we come to find out that we weren't past, once people actually start saying how they really feel. If Trump wins again in 2020, I hope by that time he at least figures out some way to say, at least be able to verbalize something that gives black people some hope. That he's able to orate in a way that doesn't just prop up one demographic of the country. One can hope that he'll get some sort of humility, but that's pretty doubtful. The thing about Trump is he wants attention. He prefers positive attention, but he'll take whatever attention he can get. Quite a narcissist. Maybe not technically via the DSM-5, but the colloquial version of a narcissist. And he does want praises. So, media that praises him, he'll praise. People that praise him, he'll praise. That's why he was happy to hold up that rainbow flag that said gays for Trump. If it wouldn't have said gays for Trump, he probably wouldn't have held up that flag. I hope the Democrats have a decent candidate for 2020. I hope they don't have a candidate that pushes identity politics. I hope they don't have a candidate that wants to push for us to have completely open borders and to take down the walls that we already have. I hope we have a candidate that isn't overly politically correct. I hope we have a candidate that can really talk about the issues. Someone who can say their positions. I hope we don't just end up with another candidate who is the lesser of two evils. But we'll see. But if we do get Trump again, I do hope that he learns how to talk to a larger portion of the country. I also hope that our media improves a little bit as well. Doubtful, though. they'll probably get worse. And with all the censorship that's going to be coming up here, yeah, all of this is probably going to get worse. Anyway, I guess I'm just rambling. Thanks for listening.